You want to make millions on Amazon. Great. You send some inventory to Amazon FBA warehouses. Check. No, you need to win the buy box to actually get some sales. In today's video, this is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to win the buy box in your listings on Amazon FBA so you can make some money. All right. So if you do not know me, my name is Mangunza. I release daily videos about selling on Amazon right here on YouTube for free. So subscribe and like this video if you want to get recommended more of these videos. All right. So first of all, what is the buy box? Okay, quite simple. Okay, let's go on Amazon.com. This is a random product. So this is the buy box. All right. So the buy box is this specific space. Okay, winning the buy box means that you will be the offer that is put forward. All right. So if you look on this buy box right here, you can see that it is sold by owner. Okay, it is a third-party seller. All right. And if you sell on Amazon, you probably know that when you buy stuff on Amazon, you are not buying it directly from Amazon most of the time. I think it's like 60% of the time. 60% of the time, like 60% of all the sales happening on Amazon are coming from third-party sellers, like me, all right, and like you probably, all right. So this is what winning the buy box. So pretty much our norm that is right there is currently winning the buy box, which means that if I actually click on add to cart or if I actually click on buy now, I am going to buy from this guy, from our norm, all right. Shout out our norm. Okay, so now, how do you actually win the buy box? You need to understand how this thing works. Okay, so the buy box, Amazon use an algorithm to understand how, like, not to understand, but to decide who is gonna get the buy box. So what is an algorithm? Great question. I have no idea how to define an algorithm. All right, so let's look for a definition. But pretty much what an algorithm is it's some factors put together that will weight a specific score, and the person with the highest score is going to win the buy box, right? So it is going to look at different factors to attribute a score to you, and if you have the higher score, you are going to get the buy box, pretty much, okay? Just to make it like really dumb, this is why it works. But pretty much the definition of an algorithm is a process or set of rules to be followed in calculations or other problem-solving operations, especially by a computer, okay? So hopefully you understood what an algorithm is, all right? So now, what does the algorithm look at to determine this score and to determine who is going to get the buy box? So there's a great cheat sheet right there from Operation ROI, okay, that gives you all the factors that the algorithm is looking at, and it's giving you a lot. Yeah, actually, so this is all the algorithms, okay? And there are some stuff that I don't necessarily agree with, but well, if they say it, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But some stuff, like for example, the inventory that we are going to talk about in a few, I think that it is weighted way more. It has a bigger impact on the buy box that people realize, all right? So the first thing that is going to impact whether you are going to win the buy box or not is your type of offer, okay? So whether your offer is FBA or FBM. FBA means fulfilled by Amazon. FBM means fulfilled by merchant. FBA, what it means when you have an offer that is FBA, it means that you are sending your inventory to Amazon. They are going to check in your inventory, and then they are going to take care of the storage of your inventory. They are going to take care of the fulfillment of your inventory, as the name implies, and they are going to take care of the customer service, like 90% of it. Okay, there's still some stuff that you will need to do. All right, so they are going to take care of all of that. If you do FBM, which means fulfilled by a merchant, you are going to do this whole thing yourself. All right, so the thing is that with FBA, most of the time, the shipping is going to be way faster. This is one of the big reasons why they are going to favor FBA shipping. All right, but as I said, and this is the big thing that you need to realize with algorithms, okay? If everything else is equal, okay? So if all of these factors are the same for for two different sellers, okay? So if those two sellers have the same price, okay? Because yes, the price is super important, and we are going to talk about that in a few. The same perfect order percentage, the same shipping time, the same, all of these, we are not going to go through them one by one, but if everything is equal, if one offer is FBA and the other offer is FBM, the FBA offer is going to get the buy box all of the time, pretty much, okay? So I hope that this makes sense. And this is why, people actually, the landed price is one of the big factors, and people think that it is way more important than it actually is, because this is why people actually try to cut the price every time to actually win the buy box, and it does not really work. Yes, you're going to win the buy box, you're going to sell at a lower price that you would have been able to sell if you were actually not dumb, all right? So the price, okay, the price at which you're going to sell your inventory is an important factor. Yes, but you can get a little bit less of the buy box and get a higher return on investment, which is super interesting, especially with stuff like online arbitrage, by the way. Because with online arbitrage, you know, a lot of the time, a lot of products are going to be one-off products for a lot of people. Yes, there's replants and all that stuff, but like most of the time, no, you just buy 15, 20 units, especially if you're a beginner. And so you can just wait a few days more, okay, to get your price a little bit higher. You can sell a little bit slower, it's totally fine, and you're going to get a higher return on investment. Most of the time, on fast selling listings, you can sell above the buy box, okay, which means that if the buy box is at $20, let's say $30, if the buy box is at $30, there's a lot of listings when they sell fast where you can actually win the buy box. Even if it does not show it on Keepa, you can actually win the buy box at $32 and actually get some sales, even if it is not shown on Keepa. So on a lot of listings, like, do not try to chase the price to go lower and lower and lower to win the buy box. It is not the only factor. As you can see, there's a ton of factors. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different factors. A lot of guys are only focusing on this specific factor, which is the price, and lowering their price over and over and over again. By the way, follow me on social. You just saw my social media right there. Follow me on social if you want to see what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. Best way to do it is on Instagram. All right. So, as I said, the landed price is an important factor, of course, but most of the time, you know, you can set your price a little bit higher. You do not have, like, the point that I'm trying to make with this is that you do not have to undercut the buy box all the time just to win the buy box. It's a really dumb way to run your business. You're gonna make way less profit, and most of the time, you know, it is going to sell almost as fast, especially if you only have 10, 15 units. Like, do not go and try to undercut the buy box. Be super aggressive with your minimum price to make sure that you leave undercut the price and sell out, and so you can sell at a higher price, okay? But we'll make more videos talking about repricing, even if I already made a ton of videos on repricing. But yeah, so the next thing, and I'm going to skip all these. You can read it by yourself if you want to, okay? Like, all these things are going to play a role. But the one that I want, because yes, another thing is feedback, okay? Which is right here. Feedback, a lot of people think that it is super, super important. It is not that important. Yes, the algorithm is looking at it apparently, but like, at the end of the day, you can definitely win the buy box against people that have 100, 200, 300, 400 reviews, even if you only have 10 reviews or not even 10 reviews, okay? It happens all the time. It is not a huge factor, all right? But the one factor that is quite often, pretty much, before I actually go and talk about the most important factor, you need to realize this, okay? All these factors are, like, they are not that important if you just focus on the things that you can control. Like, the main thing that you need to focus on is trying to make sure that you please Amazon, okay? So pretty much everything, all these things, okay, all these things, like most of, like 90% of these factors are just stuff that are common sense, okay? So you do not want to have orders that go wrong. You want to have decent shipping times when you do FBA. You do not want to have a high order defect rate, because you will notice that whenever you have one order with something wrong, like, you will get your sales going down a tiny bit, okay? If you do not have a lot of sales already, you know, because if, like, let's say you only have like 200-300 sales a month, you have one order with an order defect, it's going to fuck up your order defect rate, and your sales are going to slow down a little bit, because you're going to notice that you win the buy box a little bit less, okay? So happens all the time, not a problem. Just wait a little bit, keep selling, you'll be fine, all right? But you know, all these things, like the feedback score, the on-time delivery, the valid tracking rate, the late shipment rate, of course, this is all things that you do not want, okay? So just run your business the right way, you're going to be fine, all right? But no, the one that I want to talk about, that I believe is super underrated, is, and that most people do not talk about, by the way, is the inventory levels, okay? Amazon wants to see that you have a reliable supply chain and that you never go out of stock on those ASINs that you sell a lot, okay? I went as far as back last year when I was doing a lot of FBM, by the way, on a product where there was like 10 units, okay, 10 competitive offers, okay, I used to have like around 70 to 80% of the buy box because I was making sure that I was always in stock. I was going as far as actually reordering the product at a loss if I saw that I was going to run out of stock, just to make sure that I never ran out of stock. And it actually paid, because at the end of the day, I made a ton of money because I was able to get all of the buy box. People were not able to win the buy box against me because I had a reliable supply chain for this specific product. Okay, so the inventory level are super underrated. Okay, if you go deep in inventory, Amazon is going to, and if you do it all the time on a specific listing, Amazon is going to favorite you on that listing. Okay, so especially when we talk about replants, if you want to win the buy box on replants, this is something that you are going to need to do. Okay, and so which means that you're going to need to have some deep pockets to be able to buy a ton of inventory, especially on fast selling listings, because on fast selling listings you're going to need to buy a lot of units and it can cost a lot of money. All right, but if you have deep enough pockets, you should definitely start looking at going deeper in inventory so you can get more of the buy box. Okay, this is how you are really going to dominate the buy box. You are not going to dominate the buy box with the price by tanking the price all the time. It's a really dumb way to do it. You are just going to sell out super fast. Okay, it's a dumb way to run your business. This is not how you dominate the buy box. You really want to dominate the buy box. The thing that you need to take care of is your inventory levels. And I hope this is clear, and I hope I was able to make this clear with this video. This is the whole point of this video. Okay, if you want to win the buy box, the most important thing is your inventory level. Okay, if you are not at the point yet where you can go deep without any issues, deep in stock in some listing. Okay, so I'm talking about 2 months worth of stock, 2 months and a half worth of stock. If you're not at that level yet, you should not actually look at optimizing stuff to win the buy box, because the only thing that you can do is actually undercutting the buy box. And so yes, you're going to win more of the buy box, but at what price? Your profit is going to decrease because you just want to win the buy box more. It's a dumb way to run your business. Do not be dumb. Try to be smart about it. All right, so if you want to be smart about it, become a bigger seller, get the ability to go deeper, get the ability to cash to be able to go deeper in stock. You will win more of the buy box, and this is when you are actually be able to be a decent Amazon seller. All right, so do not be dumb. Do not undercut the price all the time. It's not the way to run this business. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, leave a like, subscribe to all that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow for a new video, because I release a new video daily. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. By the way, watch these videos on the screen. Yeah, you know the drill.